Good morning, and welcome to the Dragon's Den, where you never know what goes down in the Dragon's Den, right?
Right.
So I am sitting here with some of our classmates. So what are we talking about today? Because I feel like it's so many topics out here that we can talk about, but it's some ones that I think that are very important to us. What do you think, T-Dog?
I think so too.
You think so?
Yeah,
I think we should talk about accountability.
that's a good one.
Accountability. What does accountability mean to you?
Accountability to me is taking ownership. Like, if you're wrong, you're wrong. Accountability to me is taking ownership. Like, if you're wrong, you're wrong.
If you're wrong, you're wrong. What about you, Manai?
Accountability means to me like taking up for your mistakes and owning up to what you do.
Let me just piggyback off what they said. That's what I, in my, that's what it means to me too.
Yeah, that's what it means to me too, and I think it makes you a stronger person with a stronger will to be able to say that you're wrong and, learn from what you did wrong and stuff. So accountability is very important.
It's very important. In the society we live in today, a lot of people don't take accountability for the things that they do and the actions that they take. So I feel like accountability should be a word that a lot of people learn, because a lot of people don't understand the word accountability. You know what I mean? So I always told my kids that, when you get in trouble or something like that, everybody has some type of fault in it. Do you think that that's real? Like, because we all have to take a step to it. Like, what do you think are some things that people could change? So what do you think is some things that some of these students need to take accountability for here at Glasgow?
Like, if you know you like skipping or like not doing what you're supposed to do and you get caught, just be upfront with it, because most of the hall monitors or whoever is in the hallway or who catches you, they'll let you go to class if you're not a person that like be out a lot. Now, if you like one of those kids that are like out a lot, then yeah, you're gonna get in trouble.
And the thing is about adults, we have to do our job as well. So at the end of the day, we still have families that we have to go home and feed. So we have to do our job. So if you're in a hall, you can't get upset with us if we're doing a hall sweep and he done warned you 48 hours.
Right.
That's what he kept saying it. So if you're caught in the hall, sometimes I think you really have to understand, like, hey, sometimes you might slip up and be in the hall because you might be walking slow. You might be doing something to help a teacher or something like that, or a friend. But when it comes to being on time every day, you should do that, because in the real life, we have to be on time for work, right? Yeah. We have to be on time for picking y'all up from school. If an adult is not on time for picking the kids up for school, what happens? What happens at daycare? The parent gets charged. We get fined every minute. Yeah. So it's just teaching you accountability for being in that atmosphere of what you're going to do when you get older. Right. What do you think?
I think people should start taking more accountability of their grades, because when you come to school, you're supposed to come to learn, your academics, but people think it's better to just be around their friends and just fail the whole time, not really think about their future. So I think,
like, to a twist of that, do you think sometimes that this is like a safe haven for some people and they just come to school to get out of the situation they are in at home? Yeah. You know what I mean? Because so sometimes even doing the work may not be on their mind. It might be like, oh, I can eat right now. Oh, I have a safe place. But, being a teenager, nobody's going to say that.
Yeah.
It's embarrassment, So I do. And sometimes, it's nothing wrong with being embarrassed. Like, people put their pride so high, and I think that's why we have so much crimes going out. We don't know how to put our pride to the side and just let it go, What do you think?
Hey, I was thinking the same thing he was thinking about grades.
Grades?
Yeah,
Grade.
I would say grades, the same thing he said. Yeah, grades.
All right.
I think a lot of students could take more accountability in their actions and who they choose to be friends with. Because not everybody is good friends. Friendships don't really last.
Well, you got to learn.
Yeah.
This is the world we live in. Everything we do, we learning.
Yeah.
Every day, even as parents, I always revert back to being a parent. We learn every day. We learn something new every single day about our kids, about ourselves. So y'all growing up, y'all are learning different things. Y'all learning your boundaries. And boundaries is a big thing.
Yeah.
You know, boundaries is a big thing as, you know, at your age. And you need to understand boundaries.
But then it's like if you don't set boundaries, then what?
Yeah, if you have to, though. You have to
Right.
set the tone on how you want people to treat you.
Mm-hmm.
People are going to treat you the way you allow them to treat you.
Yeah.
Right? So you tell people, like, this is not acceptable, you know? And if you accept some things, then that's what you accept, you know? So it's a lot of different, you know, things that people go through. And some things, some people ain't for you. Some people here for a season, and some people here for a reason.
Yeah.
Okay, and I always truly believe that. Like, you know, some people will be here to help you out, and some people would be here to just be that reason.
Right.
And every bad situation, though, is not bad. It's just a learning lesson.
Yeah,
It's a
definitely
lesson
learning
for
lessons.
it. You know what I mean? It's a learning lesson. Even if you're not cool with the person no more, it's a learning lesson. You just one person that I crossed in my path that you was there for a season.
Yeah.
You know? What about you, Manai? What you think?
To piggyback off what Tiana said, like actions, like I feel like sometimes that's how a lot of altercations and fights start, because a lot of teenagers don't know how to really speak up and just talk things out. They just know how to handle stuff by fighting. That's not always like the right solution to go. Way to go.
You know, the biggest thing is I think about is when you talk about relationships in general, communication, right? We say that's number one, but really you have to understand what you're talking about before you can even have that conversation. So if you don't understand what a person's talking about, how you gonna have that conversation? So we have to understand what we are about to communicate about, you know? And sometimes people don't understand, you know? Do you think that students fight over a lot of misunderstanding?
Yeah, definitely.
Because I realize, like,
Yeah,
they really
definitely.
do. And nobody wants to take accountability for what they say.
I feel like that's what it be about. It'd be a lot of he say, she say. Nobody really want to just get to the bottom, like, of the situation. It just always be dragged and prolonged when it could be so. All you got to do is have a conversation most of the time.
And is that hard in high school? Like, do you feel like that's a
'Cause
lot?
people be prideful. They feel like they being a punk if they talk it out or whatever. Like,
And it always comes back to those words. You gotta be pride. What did I say? Put your pride to the side. You know, like, I know that you guys, and this is probably taking it a little bit deeper, but you guys experience a lot of teen violence. Like,
Right.
you know, it's a lot of violence out there we see on the news. Like, do you think that comes from everybody being so prideful?
most of the time, yes. I feel like, yes.
You do?
Yes.
Do you feel like they just doing it because they just want to do it?
That, too.
I feel like that. Yeah, they just doing it because they're going to do it. Yeah, I feel like they're just doing it because they want to do it. I agree on that. A lot of pride come with it because we have to learn how to put it to the side. It's been many a moons and nights that, you know, you might be disappointed and then you're like, oh man, what I do? I gotta take this on the chin, you know. But that's taught. Like, you have to learn how to deal with that. Like, you have to learn how to put your pride to the side. Like, even like, you know, I just recently seen where a lot of people went to the Wawa and they were all standing on the cars and jumping on the cars, and it was so many of them in Philadelphia, not in Delaware. But like, what was the whole purpose of that? Do y'all know? Like, do y'all think y'all know what the whole purpose of doing something like that? Like, let's think, like, would you do something like that? Like,
I wouldn't. You destroy somebody else's property.
Yeah, me like finna get a car. Like if I'm in the store and I come out and see people standing on my brand new car, I don't be like, yo, like why are you standing on my car for no reason? There's no reason that you should be standing on another person's property, damaging it.
yeah, you're right.
Right, and they probably can't pay for it.
That's a good point. You can't pay for it. Like, people work hard for the things that they get, you know, and it takes time.
I think people can also act like that because of social media. Social media influence a lot of things, a lot of mindsets. Social media really, really influence.
And you know, with social media too, even dealing with y'all like airdropping, a lot of y'all like posting everything that happens. A lot of y'all wouldn't be in school, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh, this happened yesterday.
Yeah.
Because somebody done posted, you know, and then the person that, let's say the person does it, and then they get caught, they don't want to take accountability for that. Or what about the people taking accountability for recording anything they doing, like in the presence of, like, let's say somebody getting an altercation or something? Why are you recording it?
Like, I feel like over the years of like growing up as like being in school, like people, like back to what we was talking about earlier with like fights and stuff, like instead of talking to the person you have a problem with, it goes around everybody. He say, she say, videos, texts going around. Then when you and the person finally gets in the office, y'all figure it out. And then y'all are getting in more trouble because this video went out and all this, and yeah, it's just bigger.
You ever heard of the game Fish? So you say one thing to you, and then it goes all the way around.
Yeah, but it's a
And
different
somebody
type that I
says
heard.
the wrong.
I heard it like a different title.
Somebody says, didn't say, repeats what you said. So basically, telephone. It is telephone.
Yeah.
I said fish, but that's what the kids call it in kindergarten. Fish.
But we say that people with altercations, they could talk it out first or try to communicate. But I feel like it's the way you approach situations. Like if you come off to, if you just want to ask me a question, or if you just want to like know something, if you come off to, like me personally, you come up to me too hype, then I'm gonna give you hype. If you if you pull me to the side, I got a question, and then I would talk to you. That's me
But
personally.
why give a
like,
person what they want? Because that's what they. So if a person approach you, like if I came up to you and was like, "And why are you acting like that?" I'm giving you that energy so you can respond to what I'm doing, right? My energy negative.
Yeah.
But you said you're gonna do the same thing. You're gonna give off the same negative energy.
But it's like I don't know. It's like
So you have to
different
control
situations.
yourself.
But it's like if you should have controlled how you came to me.
You right.
You didn't have to come to me that if you just want to know a question, especially if you already know. If I previously know, like for example, if I know that she a firecracker, I know how she is. I'm not going to come to her like I'm gonna want to ask you a question because I don't want it to get escalated. I don't want it to get escalated.
So some people talk with that high pitch in their voice, like, but they really truly don't mean it.
Yeah, that's me sometimes though. So I understand.
But some people don't understand. Like sometimes they tell me I have I'm not gonna say aggressive because it ain't aggressive. I have a strong personality.
Me too.
So when I'm having a conversation and when I'm passionate about something, it may come off like very strong. Not meaning I'm being smart. I'm just letting you know how it is and this is the way it is. Don't mean no disrespect to anybody, but that's just how it comes off. And if I do come off disrespectful, then I'll apologize. But that's how, I am. So I can understand like strong personalities. But when people come up to you, sometimes y'all have to learn how to like just woo some and walk away is a good thing. Or just be like, I'm talking to you, talk to me. You got to get respect and to get it. Like, I just feel like talking at people and talking to them is two different things.
Yeah, like I feel like some people do try to go talk about it, but like they might have like a couple friends or a group of people with them, and then they'll come off like aggressive. Well, a little strong, a little strong.
We said we wasn't going to use the word aggressive,
a little strong, and then they'll get. If the person's by themselves, they feel like they're getting attacked. So now they got to match their energy.
Yeah. Because it's embarrassing. Because that's when the word embarrassing comes
Me
in.
personally, I feel like our generation needs to mature with that, though. If I'm asking you a question, I don't need my friends walking me, because then they're going to think it's a problem. I'm just asking you something. I don't need an audience. I don't need no audience.
See, I'm good on that. Like, because this is not a C conversation, the A-B conversation, and that person needs to see their way out of it. So I'm good for saying, they're like, oh, no, I'm there for support. Oh, no, goodbye. Yeah, goodbye. It's just you two.
Right.
Because people like to see it. Yeah, people love drama. They want to see it going on.
Yeah, y'all don't want to see a friendship come back together. Y'all want to see people fight each other.
And it's not worth it. Y'all, in the end, I'm telling y'all right now, that is not worth it. It's not worth it. It's not worth getting hands dirty of doing something like that. Putting stuff on your record. That's what I mean by when I say get your hands dirty. Because if you get your hands dirty, if you go to a job, it comes back on.
But what do you do when you feel like your back is against the wall and you don't have nothing else to do but defend yourself?
Sometimes that that's like the hardest thing, because I've seen, so many people not defend themselves. I really don't talk about it, but I know a person who, was bullied since kindergarten to 8th grade. Actually through high school, but it was a little bit different because it was private. And that person went through a lot. Like, I'm saying, like, people spitting on them on the bus, and smacking them, or, calling them names and things like that. And he just walked away. He will walk away. And I couldn't understand why, because I never was that kid. And it's hurtful, because he was bullied. Like, that was a straight bully mission of the same kids repeatedly messing with him over and over and over again. And it's just, that's hard. That's hard. And he walked away from it. And I think those people are the strongest people. I think those people are the strongest people, because when you're bullied for so long, you're taking on a lot. Right? Speaking from experience. I mean,
being bullied, it was the hardest thing for me, especially in kindergarten, going through high school. And mostly I was bullied from my eyes. So I was taking on a lot. I wouldn't tell nobody, because I feel like it would be embarrassing. So I would go home and I would just lock myself in the room. Like, why am I getting bullied? Why would get tissue thrown at me or paper thrown at me? So taking on it from kindergarten and still kind of getting attacked a little bit from high school, it's a lot to deal with. And you don't always have that right person to go to and tell them, like, what should I do? Like, or what should I say?
But then with me, bullying is serious, but you can't be a bully and cry if you get want to cry if you're getting bullied. Like, treat people how you want to be treated. Like, treat people how you want to be treated.
that's true.
You can't be like people picking on you, but then you laughing when the next crowd picking at that person. Like, you can't flip back and forth.
A defense mechanism that a lot of people do, because it's not them at this moment. So if it's not them at this moment, it's like, yeah, I get to see another day. Nobody's messing with me. They messing with somebody different.
Yeah.
So they keep the attention so off of them. But, that's learned too. You got to learn that. And a lot of people don't pay attention to that. A lot of people don't pay attention to if a other person is laughing at that. They're like, yo, today, it's not me. It's them. I'm going to keep on moving. You know what I mean? So y'all got to remember that too, because you never know what's going on in people's households.
Right.
Or in their mind.
Yeah, that'd be my biggest thing, though. Like, you never know what people really be going through.
Yeah. Because
Even the people who, like, try to pick on the people, they be having problems themselves.
Right.
Since they, like, put up
Exactly.
this image wherever they are and with whoever they're with, it makes them look like they're fine and they got it. They got it good.
You're right, because that's what they do. A lot of people will pick. You know what I mean? And then you don't know, or you find out that this person may not be living with their lights on.
Right.
They might got to come here and get in the shower. You know what I
And
mean?
you find out, you feel so bad.
And you feel so bad. And that's what I was going to say. Accountability. But a lot of people are back to prideful in that, and it's hard. The society y'all live in, I think, is extremely hard. And the reason why I say that is because I feel like our age group, right? I'm not going to give out my age, but our age group is y'all's parents.
Yeah.
So I look at it like we're still trying to live our lives and take care of our kids, which is extremely hard at times. It's extremely hard. So that's why I think some of y'all are just going out here buck wild, though. Or you just don't care because your parent ain't home, right?
I feel like that takes a lot.
It does.
Yeah.
Now, I came from my parents came from a different generation where financially they were always working, work, right? But they did great by us, because I can never knock my parents, because my parents are great, right? But they never had real time to spend with us.
Yeah.
The time that we wanted. You understand? So I'm, at the time that we wanted. So me as a parent, I try to put that time in. I try to work different time jobs so that I'm there for my kids. Like, and then when I work in the schools, like, oh, y'all my babies.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to make sure that I can support y'all too, because I never know if any of y'all have that same support.
Mm-hmm.
So that's extremely hard.
I feel like parents also have to take accountability for like how they treat their kids, because it's like some parents can have an effect on how their children act.
Yeah.
So it's like sometimes it's just not always them. It could just be how their parents treat them or how much time they get to spend with their parents.
Yeah, you're right. That means a lot. That means a lot, and that's why I put the time in with with my kids too. Like my daughter, like I was her basketball coach. You know what I mean? And I got to spend 2 full summers with. I love my team. I love that team. That was like the best basketball team I had. But I spent a whole 2 years working with them, and then coming to the high school level, working at Hudson, being a basketball coach. But I got that time to spend with my daughter. You know what I mean? So that was like, that's my only daughter. So, and then I came here and I gained some more kids. Because, coaching this year was, it was extremely difficult. It was different. But it all played out. And the kids we got great kids here.
To piggyback off what Manai said, I think it's a lot with parents. Like, I feel like parents don't really recognize that some stuff you say is hurtful.
Yeah. But you're
Some
right.
stuff be hurtful. Or
I will
I don't know how to take
accountability
certain
for
stuff.
that. You are 100% correct. But I think our approach is how we were taught.
Yeah.
So sometimes we come off kind of strong, like we don't care.
That's true. But then it's like, if you was raised like that and you know how that made you feel, why would you want to make me feel like that and I'm your child?
But then I tell them at the beginning, we learn each and every day how to be a parent. Y'all make mistakes, we make mistakes, we all make mistakes, right? Because we do. We make mistakes, So, I mean, that's what it is.
Right.
So I thank you for you guys coming in and talking about accountability, because, we have to take accountability for everything that we do here on the Dragon's Den. Be rocking with your coach, Coach MJ.
T-Dog.
And we are out. Peace.